Whether you know it or not, riding public transit has many benefits associated with it. It saves on the cost of gas as well as provides less wear and tear on your vehicle. It can also reduce stress associated with driving in traffic conditions, and it even provides an environmental benefit of one less vehicle on the road that day. But using public transit can seem daunting, especially if you've never ridden on it before. But fear not. Riding public transit is not that daunting, and this video will help explain everything you need to know about becoming a riding expert. First things first, you have to know what a public transit vehicle looks like to ride one, right? Here at TAPS Public Transit, we have many vehicles in our fleet. We deploy smaller vehicles like our MV1 and multi-passenger vans to larger buses like our Glaval Titans, Universals, and Concords, and our large intercity bus, the Easy Rider 2. A large majority of our buses are branded with a hard-to-miss green and blue paint scheme as well as graphics, while others will have large advertising graphics along the sides. One thing is for sure, all TAPS vehicles will have TAPS branding somewhere on the vehicle, and our drivers will always be wearing TAPS apparel. So never board a vehicle that doesn't have these things. So now you have identified your public transit. Let's talk about getting on that vehicle. Make sure to stand clear of the vehicle's path as it approaches, and make sure it comes to a complete stop before attempting to board. Once you board the vehicle, make sure to tell the driver where you plan to exit and pay your fare. Fares can be paid with cash or fare cards and even passes that can be purchased at the TAPS office in either Sherman or McKinney, Texas, or online at tapsbus.com. When paying fare in cash, be sure to pay exact change. The driver is not allowed to make change. When finding a seat on the bus, we ask that if able, please find a seat towards the rear of the bus if open, and leave the seats towards the front available for disabled or elderly riders. It is also worth noting that most of the vehicles in the TAPS fleet are wheelchair accessible, usually by a ramp or lift. Drivers are required to stay within the vehicle during normal operation. The driver is only able to exit the bus to help disabled riders board. However, they have to stay within 2 feet of the bus at all times while doing so. Now let's cover a few simple rules to follow for both your safety and the safety of others. The first few rules are fairly self-explanatory, but it doesn't hurt to re-emphasize them for safety. There is no smoking on TAPS vehicles at any time. Also, no firearms are allowed on a TAPS vehicle regardless of your certifications. There is no gambling, eating, or drinking, or radios allowed on the bus. If you must listen to music on the bus, headphones are required to do so at a low volume. Also, proper clothing is required to ride on a TAPS vehicle, including shoes and shirt. You are allowed to carry packages, backpacks, bicycles, or groceries onto our vehicles only if you are able to stay in control of those objects at all times. Bicycles must be able to be secured and out of the way of other passengers to be allowed on the bus. The only animals allowed on a TAPS vehicle are service animals, such as seeing eye dogs, and they must stay with their owner at all times. No pets are allowed. If you are on a public transit vehicle that has a service animal on it, please do not distract that rider's service animal. When it comes time to exit the public transit vehicle, make sure that bus comes to a complete stop before getting out of your seat. Make sure you leave with everything you brought on the vehicle, and make sure you step at least 2 feet away so the vehicle can move on safely to its next destination. Now that you're a public transit riding expert, riding a bus doesn't seem so daunting, does it? We'll see you on the bus.